Is this the podcast?
I've been recording for like 15 seconds.
So now is it the podcast?
Yes.
This is the viral episode.
This is the viral episode.
Can you believe this is the one that's gonna make it?
Yep.
That this is the one that gets us 1 million subscribers?
Yeah.
Subscribers?
Yeah, subscribers.
You know, because YouTube's the thing still.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Thank you for the 100 gift subs.
Thanks for the 100 gift, everybody.
What you say?
Thank you for the bits and the donations.
Yeah.
Really, thank you to our Patreon supporters.
Yeah.
And all of our great sponsors. So there you go.
All of them.
Just kidding. We don't have any of those.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we do have? Pokemon to talk about.
As usual.
Man, I hope you like Pokemon if you're listening to this episode, because there's going to be an amount of it.
Yes.
So
if you've
buckle up.
If you've been here since
Buttercup.
the beginning, then this is exactly what you come to this podcast for.
Yeah, it's about 80% of the episodes are going to be this.
Yeah.
So, hey, Brian, how's it going? What have you been doing?
So I did something I haven't told you about yet at all.
Oh my gosh.
So you
Secrets.
mentioned small ants. Sorry, hold on. Taking my jacket off. It's too warm for this.
Gonna just halt the whole dang podcast. That's awesome.
No, you're still talking.
Oh, I was just feeling dead air, man. That's all I do.
Yeah, you're just vamping.
I'm a vampire.
No. So you mentioned small ants, too many rules video.
I've mentioned quite a few of his videos, but
yes, but you've mentioned that one in particular.
Uh-huh.
And that idea was too interesting for me to not try. So I did it. I did Pokemon Red. With the exact same rules that he did.
Okay. Let's list those for the audience.
So let's see.
Me.
You cannot catch Pokemon. You cannot evolve Pokemon. You cannot teach TMs. You cannot use healing items.
Got it. That's a lot of rules, yes.
Yeah, I think that's it.
There may have been another one in there, but it's
but
okay.
if there was, I followed it because I had it in a document.
Okay.
So I made sure. That said, I technically failed the challenge, but we'll get to that later.
Uh-oh.
So.
Spoilers.
So I could have added a caveat and been like, you know what, I am going to catch an HM slave. But no. It's like, no, you know what? I'm going to do this right.
Yeah,
so
that's the hard part.
I started with the only starter that can learn Cut in Gen 1, which is Bulbasaur.
You have to do Bulbasaur. Otherwise, it's impossible.
Here's the thing. Bulbasaur is a very popular starter.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
And Venusaur's really good in, like, competitive Pokemon. At least this is what I hear.
He's tanky.
But... And then Bulbasaur is thought of as easy mode, with Squirtle being thought of as sort of normal, medium, and Charmander being seen as hard. I disagree with all of that. Here's the thing.
Did you have a problem with Bulbasaur?
So many Pokemon resist grass in Gen 1.
Interesting.
Do you realize how many poison and flying type Pokemon that you fight in Gen 1? Do you realize?
That sounds about right.
And bug types?
Now that you mention
it. And grass types?
Yep. There's a lot of all of those.
Yeah. So
poison's the most common type in the game.
More than half of the Pokemon that you fight in this game resist grass.
Interesting. I never really thought of that, yeah.
So, yeah, Bulbasaur is not easy mode. Not by a long shot.
Well, especially if he's the only Pokemon you're using.
Yeah. You know what's a type that most Pokemon don't resist? Water.
Yes.
Therefore, Squirtle is easy mode.
Yeah. I mean, water is objectively one of the best types in the game, so
it's like normal but special.
Yeah. Normal but better in every way.
Like if you need a special type that is not resisted by almost anything aside from psychic, it's water.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, there's no steel to resist it.
Right.
And
it's basically only water types you have to worry about that resist it. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I guess grass resists it, I think.
But, I think so.
But yeah. So anyway.
So you hate Bulbasaur? Okay. Continue.
No, I love Bulbasaur, but not to use as my only Pokemon.
Yeah, I feel like it being your only one is
I love him as
really
a Pokemon,
the issue
but
there.
yeah, having him be your sole Pokemon was a little challenging.
Yeah.
So I got all the way to through so let's see. When I got to Vermilion.
Uh-huh.
So I got all the way to Vermilion just fighting like everybody.
Yeah. This is pure Bulbasaur still?
Yeah.
Wow.
I got all the way through Nugget Bridge, fought the rival, fought Misty.
Yeah.
Once I finished Nugget Bridge and I was going to get to Bill's house, I realized, wait a second. If I fight everybody, I'm going to get a Lapras.
Uh-huh. Eventually, yes. One of the last ones you get.
Lapras is going to be a pretty useful Pokemon to have around.
Very.
It'll be only level 15 when I get it.
Is that right?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Gen 1 sucks.
The Pokemon that I'm fighting in this area are roughly level 15.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna not fight them because my Bulbasaur is already pretty high level. I'm gonna save these for later.
Okay. Makes sense.
So yeah, the area between Nugget Bridge and Bill's house is that's when I made this decision to stop to fight as few trainers as possible from this point on, basically.
I mean, yeah, kind of. It does make sense since you have one Pokemon.
So then I go to Vermilion. I go to SSN. SSN, you don't get to fight anybody over again. Once SSN leaves, that's it.
If you leave, it's over.
So I might as well fight all of them. So and plus, there's lots of water types, so I can make use of Bulbasaur's grass.
Yep.
Once he learns Razor Leaf, he's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty easy.
So yeah,
so you're probably, like almost level 30 by now, probably.
Yeah, I was pretty over leveled. So I'm clear my way through SSN. I clear my way through Surge's gym because again, like I can't. Once you beat Surge, like if you've beat a gym leader without fighting the trainers in the gym, you can't fight them after beating the gym leader.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I never thought about that.
So, so I just made sure to fight everybody in there too.
And of course, you grass resists. Electric.
So he was a pushover.
Yeah. Very nice.
And so I skipped everybody east of Vermilion in that grassy area because you don't need to fight any of them. So I'm going to save them for later as well. I make my way through Rock Tunnel, fighting as few trainers as possible. I went ahead and fought everybody in Rock Tunnel because I wasn't going to go back there.
Yeah, forget
go
Rock
back
Tunnel.
in there.
That's my least favorite part of Gen 1, by the way.
Yeah.
Is Rock Tunnel.
I don't mind Rock
I
Tunnel,
just think
but
it's a
like,
pain. It's too long to me.
yeah.
I just want to be done with it. I want to go to Celadon.
So here's the thing. I've had Rock Tunnel memorized since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't ever use Flash in it.
Nice.
And I'm proud enough of that fact that every time I get to Rock Tunnel, I'm like, I get to show off to nobody.
To myself.
that I still have this place memorized.
Yeah. And if you did it like on stream, everyone would be like, you're just looking at a map. Shut up.
Yeah,
you're lying.
It's also not that impressive.
Yeah.
But
well,
like,
you know.
it's just that out of the hundreds of times I've done Rock Tunnel, I've used Flash like once ever.
Yes. Gotcha.
So I think the first time I might have actually forgotten where Flash was, and so I just went through it in the dark anyway.
Yeah,
not realizing that I could have gotten Flash and used it, and then
like, this game sucks. It's really dark.
But I had a map because I had the player's guide.
Oh, right, of course.
Because remember, I had the player's guide from my very first playthrough.
Yep.
And then I later realized, you can use Flash to light the darkness. And so I went through it once with Flash. And then I was like, well, that wasn't really all that hard to get through without Flash. And so then I just never used
Forget it.
Like, why take up the space in my inventory or teach a stupid, useless move to any of my Pokemon when I can just go through it in the dark?
Yep. There you go.
So I get to Rocket Hideout. I go through there. I beat Giovanni. I get to Silphco.
Yes, Silphco.
Which you have to go through Pokemon Tower before you can get to Silphco. So I go through that.
You didn't get your Eevee yet?
I got an Eevee, but I didn't. But because I couldn't evolve him, I didn't really care.
Oh yeah, I guess you're not doing evolutions of any kind. Yeah.
So I can't get Jolteon,
Vaporeon,
or Flareon. So
that makes sense. That makes
I
sense.
bought the Magikarp just to have a Pokemon to switch with.
Yeah.
Because switching gets rid of status effects.
Right.
Most of them.
Well, yeah, not the
except
permanent
like
ones,
paralysis
but,
and some of the other persistent ones, but it gets rid of like
confusion and then stat lowering,
and accuracy lowering and stuff like that.
Right.
So having something to switch out to is useful for that purpose. So I had that Magikarp for a while, and then Eevee replaced the Magikarp for the same role. So I get to Silphco, and I know how to get straight to Gary. And so I fought the like 2 rockets that you need to fight to get to Gary.
Nice.
I get to him.
Gary.
This fight took
I could imagine it was difficult.
like 25 attempts.
That's a lot of attempts.
There was a point where
For
I was
you
like,
especially.
There was a point where I was like, it's impossible.
Like,
I cannot win with Bulbasaur alone.
Yeah.
Because also his team engineered for being against grass types.
Interesting.
Pidgeot.
Right.
Resist grass.
Tough.
Super effective
Wing
to grass.
attack, fly, yeah.
Execute. Resist grass.
Yep.
Kadabra. Super effective to poison.
Poison, yep.
Very fast. Very high special.
Yes. Will one-shot you. Yeah.
Growlithe. Fire type. Super effective against grass.
Yep.
Or no, he didn't have Growlithe, of course, because he had Charmeleon or Charizard. No, he had Charizard. Who else did he have?
It was a Zard already by then? Jeez.
He either had a Rhyhorn or a Gyarados. I forget which at this point in the game. One of those.
Yeah,
I'm not sure he had the Rhyhorn yet, so he probably had Gyarados, which is water flying.
Yeah,
so
not weak to
grass.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. So
I feel like Poison Leech Seed stall is the only option,
but it
basically.
just wouldn't have. It just wasn't enough.
Okay.
He just killed me too fast.
Yeah.
So I got all the way to Charizard one time with Bulbasaur, but
Jeez.
Charizard one ember,
ember, yeah.
So
wow.
I'm like, okay, well, I have one option, Hitmonchan.
Yep.
So I go and get Hitmonchan.
Heck yeah.
Hitmonchan is level 30. Not that high. His team is definitely above that. Knows only one move. Oh, well, 2 moves. One is like, it's not Growl, but it's something like Growl. And Mach Punch.
Yeah.
Mach Punch sucks.
Yes. Mach
It
Punch
has
is
18 power.
terrible.
And it's a normal type move, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gen 1 sucks, by the way.
Yeah.
For things like this.
So
that wouldn't happen in later gens.
So I take Hitmonchan through like Cycling Road just to level him up. To try until he learns all of the various punch moves.
Please.
I used every rare candy in the game on him just to get or
something
him or her, whatever. I'm just gonna say him because so he learned Thunderbolt, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, Ice Punch.
Yeah. So that's something.
But also, those are all special. Hitmonchan's special status is not very high.
Special's terrible. God.
So through many more attempts, I eventually
you did beat him
with some good RNG on my side.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
I beat him.
Jeez. Yeah, that's cringe. So you're saying you didn't get the Mr. Mime?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah. I didn't really see a point. So
probably would have been better than that.
Maybe. But so I finally get Lapras, and that's the game changer. All of a sudden,
Lapras
the game
rules.
just becomes super easy, basically.
Sick.
So I go all the way back to Nugget Bridge to just start leveling it up. And honestly, that worked great.
That didn't take
That
too
was
long.
a very good way to level up Lapras, is just fighting every trainer I skipped.
I think she's like a medium fast growth rate too. So
Yeah.
but cool.
And so
a lot of single evolutions are.
Yeah, and then of course once it knew Surf, Ice Beam, like easy mode.
I mean, thankfully you could teach it Surf immediately.
Yeah.
So that was good. So at least had one good move right away.
Yeah. Elite Four.
So that's it. You didn't get Aerodactyl or anything like that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I got Aerodactyl just to have Fly, but I didn't actually use him on my team at all.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just those 3 were the dream team. So I get to the Elite Four because everything else was like just my usual steamroll. Like nothing really was difficult. Elite Four.
I feel like that's Gen 1. It's either a
Yeah.
steamroll or like stupidly
Yeah.
difficult and just
Elite Four
dumb.
took several attempts.
Yeah.
Not as many as Gary in
I bet you had some help now.
Silphco, but yeah. Because what would happen is I would use Bulbasaur against Lorelei up until Jinx, and then I would switch to Hitmonchan to fight Jinx, and then against Lapras, I needed someone tankier than either Bulbasaur or Hitmonchan. So I used my Lapras against their Lapras.
Yeah.
And her Lapras knows Body Slam like my Lapras. Body Slam has a chance to paralyze. I can't use healing items. Oh, okay.
Nightmare.
So here's where I technically failed the challenge. I used the Poke Flute twice before realizing, oh wait, that counts as a healing item, doesn't it? And I put it away.
I will say, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt here. In every other gen but Gen 1, the Poke Flute would be in the key items pocket, not in the medicine pocket. So to me, that's using a key. That's like using the fishing rod or something.
Yeah.
So, or the bicycle.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to allow that.
I did think it was
personally.
a bit of a gray area because
that's a
healing
gray
item
area.
is kind of vague. It doesn't necessarily even mean status effects. It could just mean potions.
But it is more defined in later gens, and so that's I'm okay with that. That's
why
decent.
I didn't get all up in arms about it or like try to restart or anything.
That's something Small Ant would do.
Yeah,
be like, technically it's in the key items pocket, so it's okay. Yeah. By the way, that was a really good Small Ant impression.
Oh, nice.
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Okay, so so if Lorelei paralyzed me, I'm like, well, this is a failed run.
Yep.
Instantly, like,
That's
oh,
a
this
wipe.
is
100%. Yeah.
Now,
totally
Bruno,
makes sense.
as usual, is incredibly easy. He's by far the weakest of the Elite Four because Bulbasaur was able to
Poor guy.
just clear out his whole team, basically.
Very
I
nice.
needed Lapras against Agatha because only Lapras was bulky enough to take on Gengar.
Yeah.
And
Thank goodness for her high HP and special, right?
yeah. And then, of course, I needed Lapras for Lance.
Oh, obviously. It had Ice Beam, I'm guessing? Yeah.
So
Because it learns it on its own, right?
Yes.
I think it does, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I didn't bother with Blizzard because I only had 4 moves, and so I just went with Ice Beam because it's got more PP and all that. So I was able to almost like in one of the earlier attempts, I was able to one-shot his whole team except for Gyarados. Gyarados, I used him on Chan and Thunder Punch until it died, but it usually took like 2 or 3 hits.
Yeah, I think that's just because of Hitmonchan's
special
Hitmonchan's
stat. Low special and no stab bonus and all that. Yeah.
Yep.
Gary was the hard part again.
I mean, that champion fight can be pretty tough.
The actual Elite Four was not super hard. I only lost against them a couple of times, and it was usually because Lapras got paralyzed.
Well, and you got to do it all in one run. Like,
exactly.
That's tough.
With no healing items or anything.
That's the hardest part, absolutely.
Yeah. Once I got to the point where I could one-shot, when I could 2-shot Pidgeot with Hitmonchan and one-shot Alakazam, I was like, okay, that's when I was able to do pretty well.
Like, okay, I have a chance now.
Yeah, because take out his Pidgeot with either Ice Punch or Thunder Punch. They're both equally effective against Pidgeot. Thunder Punch against Gyarados. Lapras Body Slam against Alakazam.
Right, because he's frail, so that's not an issue.
And then Lapras Ice Beam against Lapras was absolutely
the goat.
The goat in this whole run. Like,
no, for sure.
No one else was really pulling their weight.
Very nice.
Carrying the whole team on its back, which it had plenty of room to do.
Yes, which it literally does for a living. It just carries things. So.
So Ice Beam
I
to
love
take
Lapras,
out.
by the way. Lapras is awesome.
Yeah, it's a great Pokemon.
Yeah, it's just cool.
You get it so late in the game and stuff that it's not usually worth it for me, but it's actually really good.
Well, at least in the remakes, it's higher than level 15.
Yeah.
Also.
But yeah, Ice Beam to take out Executor. Obviously, Rhydon is just one shot with water or ice. Yep. No big deal.
Charizard? How was that?
Charizard, yeah, one shot with Surf.
Yeah. Very nice.
The problem was getting to Charizard. Once I got to Charizard, as long as Lapras was alive, I win.
Very nice. So, you won?
Yes,
mark? You
I
did it?
did.
That's awesome.
The game.
It actually happened. Mm-hmm. Do you know how long around it took you?
It took 2 evenings.
Yeah.
So
not bad though.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. What levels around were your Pokemon at the end there?
In the 70 range.
Yeah, I figured must have been pretty high.
Yeah.
To be able to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it was just getting Lapras up high enough.
Yeah.
Because once Lapras was up high enough, I had it.
I feel like at that point, that's the only way to play that is just be high enough level to almost one-shot all their Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty much your only hope there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the most interesting runs I've done. That was very different.
What I love about those challenge runs is the way it makes you play Pokemon differently than you usually do. I think that's why they're so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, very cool.
Yeah. I also played more Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, you did?
Got Dark Souls flashbacks.
Yeah.
So
harder than you expected?
Yes.
Oh,
there's a very similar mechanic to Dark Souls. So in Dark Souls, you've got the whole the fires that you light the
campfires and stuff. Whatever they're called.
And how when you rest at them, it restores your health, but also respawns all the enemies.
Yeah.
Same thing in this game.
Uh-huh.
There are places where you meditate, and when you meditate, you can heal, but you also respawn all the enemies. But they're also like the save points, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. So if you die, you get sent back there. And sometimes you've done a lot of stuff in between the last time you rested, and it's really frustrating.
That's messed up.
And so like in Dark Souls, I would get to these points where I pretty much got like it down to a science. Like I step here, then I step here, then I attack this, then I do this, and like because I had to do it so many times, and so I got the same kind of thing. Now, mechanically speaking, this is an easier game, for sure.
I would hope
this is an order of magnitude easier than Dark Souls. But I had some similar struggles to what I went through in Dark Souls. There's a point where there's this big animal that comes to attack you. If you try to fight this thing, or at least if you're at my skill level with my character level and you try to fight this thing, you will die. There is no chance
you're dead
of killing this thing. But it's actually not very hard to get away from. There's a point where it sees you and it charges you and you just literally just sidestep and then run
and just book it. There you go.
So you run, and then there's a group of stormtroopers, including one with a rocket launcher.
Nice.
And they see you and rocket in the face.
Nice.
I got through it one time.
Life of a Jedi.
And then got quite a ways past that and then died and had to go through all that again.
Nice.
And then for some reason, getting past this rocket launcher stormtrooper was suddenly way harder than it was the first time.
Nice. This sounds like a platformer a little bit.
Yeah. But
jeez.
I finally got past that. And then I got to a later save point finally, so that I didn't have to redo any of that. And I did another thing where I killed a lot of enemies, got pretty far, and then died, and all the way back to save point, and then I put the game down for a while.
Yeah. You're like, oh man, it sure is fun.
Yeah.
I'm the Jedi.
That's the thing is like, I was like, I'm not having fun right now.
Yeah.
I don't.
What's the point?
I think that's literally bad game design.
Yeah. No. I'm sure it is.
Like you, this isn't difficult. It's punishing.
Yeah.
And there's a difference. There's challenges that like when you feel like you've overcome a challenge or you feel like you failed a challenge, but then you're like, oh, but this is really exciting.
And I can do better.
It's like, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Punishing is not. Punishing is just, haha, you failed, loser.
Yeah. There you go. which is what Dark Souls is.
Yeah. And Dark Souls, like, I expect that from Dark Souls. Yeah. But this is...
It's a given at that point. Mm-hmm. Well, that's cool. I haven't played anything other than Pokemon, so...
Yeah. Okay, and then the last thing is that I've been doing is Pokemon Ruby.
We could go back and forth here. We don't have to do all of your stuff and then all of my stuff.
All right. What have you been doing?
Okay.
You go.
Well, as I mentioned before, I finished Emerald, of course. But I didn't really talk about how the Elite Four went and the ending of it.
Right.
So I will say this is one of the coolest teams I feel like I've had in a Pokemon game.
Okay.
I love a lot of the Pokemon they added to Gen 3. So we got like a Salamence, my favorite dragon, one of my favorite Pokemon, Flygon, my other favorite dragon, one of my other favorite Pokemon. I had a Gardevoir, and I had an Absol, which are just 4 insanely cool Pokemon, you know? And then I, of course, still had my starter, my Swampert, who's such a beast. He's so strong.
Yeah.
And then my 6th was actually the Bellossom, which I've never used before, but it was pretty good. Like, it doesn't have its stats aren't amazing, but she held her own, absolutely.
In Gen 2, I had a Bellossom with Giga Drain. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So here I had Giga Drain, of course, Magical Leaf, and then just Poison and Sleep Powder, I think, because those are just obviously really useful to have. So the Elite Four itself was like, it just felt like good Pokemon playing, you know?
Yeah.
All of my Pokemon were about 52.
Okay.
So not super high.
Right.
I was about the same level as the Elite Four and the Champion. But I was like switching between Pokemon and just like sometimes I'd almost one-shot them, but not quite. And it was just like a good give and take battles, you know?
Nice. Okay.
And I was like trying to utilize my whole team, and it was just like, it was all coming together, you know? So that was the Elite Four. Not a big deal. Didn't really lose anybody. Used a couple revives, but whatever.
Okay.
For the Champion, who is Wallace, he's actually the water gym leader from Ruby and Sapphire.
Right.
But is now the champion in Emerald. And so all of his Pokemon are a water type of some sort.
Right.
But he's got like a Kingdra, who's pretty tough. You know, he's got Sharpedo, things like that. So I started with my Gardevoir because she had Thunderbolt.
Oh,
so half of the Pokemon I can almost take out with Thunderbolt. Not quite one-shot some of them, but yeah. I forgot what its first one was, but that one was a pushover. And then it brought out my Milotic.
Oh, yeah.
And Milotic is pretty tanky, actually.
Yeah.
And but I found out the only move she could really use against me was like Water Pulse or something, like or a Bubble Beam or something like that. Nothing specifically powerful. And I noticed it wasn't doing that much to my Gardevoir. And I looked at my Gardevoir's moves. I had Double Team and I have Calm Mind.
Yeah.
Which are a monstrous combination. So I'm like, what if I just set up with my Gardevoir? So I used Double Team 6 times.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're basically avoiding every attack. And then I used Calm Mind 6 times.
Wow.
Which Calm Mind, if you don't remember, raises special attack and special defense. So these water attacks, if they hit me, are doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And my special attack is raised by 6.
Yeah.
So, and then I used Psychic against all 5 of his Pokemon and one-shot every single one of them.
Nice.
And I'm like, instead of, having a nice, really gritty battle with all 6, utilizing all 6 of my Pokemon.
You just sweep.
I'll just sweep with the Gardevoir. I'll just set up on this Milotic. Absolutely one-shot everything. It was absolutely ridiculous. But it worked. Yep. And I'm like, all right, that's Emerald for you. I'm like, it's almost anticlimactic, but it was also pretty cool.
Yep.
So anyway, that was pretty exciting. And that was that. That was Emerald. I will say pretty good game.
Yeah.
Overall, I definitely enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Pokemon game, like many would, but yeah, I'm kind of like trying to find my favorite generation still. As I'm replaying all of these.
I've known my favorite generation since 1999.
Yeah, you're one of them Gen 1ers.
Sure am.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm still on this journey to be to find my perfect generation. But and so because of that, I've now moved on back to my Heart Gold playthrough, which I am currently enjoying. I just beat Jasmine. I got to the Lake of Rage, caught the red Gyarados, talked to Lance and all that. My team on there is pretty cool. I have Chikorita as the starter, so I have a Bayleaf.
That's right.
I always gotta love Bayleaf.
Yeah.
And then I didn't do an evolution because, I mean, like Espeon's great and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's the main downfall of Gen 2 is just no stones anywhere. So it's impossible to have a Flareon or a Vaporeon or anything like that.
Yeah.
I have a Pidgeotto. I have a Crobat, who is such a beast. Yeah. Love my Crobat. I went with Poliwhirl, also one of my favorite Pokemon. And then I have a Lantern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a very interesting Pokemon that I don't use very much, but I actually really like.
It's a very interesting type combo.
Yes, yeah, I like the Water Electric a lot. It only has Charge Beam right now, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah,
because it's like an 80 accuracy move. I just hate that.
Yeah,
I hate missing anything. And also my sixth is the first time I've used a Girafarig.
Oh yeah,
yeah, just because it's something different and it's kind of a cool Pokemon. That the Psychic normal typing is really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Being a Psychic that's immune to Ghost is actually really helpful. That's a good type combo. Like anything, because Shadow Ball is pretty prolific in Heart Gold.
Yeah.
And just nothing can touch him. It's awesome. So I actually taught it Shadow Ball also.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty cool. It's pretty nice. In this game, this is the first time I've really tried to EV train.
Oh, okay.
Purposefully, you know?
Yeah, I've never tried that, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And I really haven't done that much either. So I looked up various guides on, what's the best Pokemon to farm against. And so for special attack, they say Route 43 has level 15 Girafarigs and Flaffies, and both of them give 2 special attack EVs.
Nice, okay.
And so I just went there with Girafarig and farmed those as much as I could, and it was really interesting because every time if you're doing a specific EV a lot, basically every level up is really weird. Leveling up from 20 to 21, it's like +4 special attack. And then you do to 22, and it's like +3 special attack. Yeah. I'm like, still? And it's like +3 again, the next level.
Yeah.
It adds up. It's pretty insane. So that's been really good for it because it's got decent special attack, but special attack can always be higher.
Yeah.
You can always have more special attack. I've also been picky with natures and stuff.
Yeah.
A little bit. And so I got it with a plus special attack nature also. No. But yeah, I'm trying to get a little more technical with Pokemon.
Okay. Yeah.
I think watching Small Ant videos has made me do that a little bit more than ever before. But yeah, I was talking to you about this Nuzlocke that Small Ant's doing that I was talking about, and how it's crazy that it's the only Nuzlocke he's ever done.
Yeah.
What's that about? He's like a Poke YouTuber.
Yeah.
I forgot. Have you done a Nuzlocke?
Yeah.
You did one on your own, right?
I've done one Nuzlocke play.
Yeah. And that was on what?
It was red or blue.
No way. You're saying you played Red or Blue before?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. I think Nidoqueen carried in that one.
Oh, really?
I think, yeah.
No, that totally makes sense.
I mean, Nidoqueen carried in my yellow version playthrough too.
Yeah. The Nidos can really do some stuff in Gen 1, man.
Yeah, they're so broken.
Nidoking is the speedrun strat for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when people can't use Nidoking to do a speedrun, they use Nidoqueens.
Amazing. It's like Nidokingless and you just use Nidoqueen instead. Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, it was really cool because I'm watching like the whole VODs version of this. So they're like 4 to 6 hour long videos of him just like switching in menus and looking at his box of Pokemon, and like he's like thinking for 20 minutes on a single trainer battle he's about to do. Like, I mean, like, it's intense.
Wow.
I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever get to that level, but I like there's sort of this new age or new method of Nuzlocke, which is way more interesting to watch.
Yeah.
It's basically you hack in items. You hack in infinite rare candies, infinite calcium, iron, carbos, all of these things, so that you basically don't have to just sit there and grind for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Which makes for terrible streaming and not fun, even if you're not streaming, you know?
Right.
And to make it fair, you just put a level cap where you can't go higher than the gym leader's highest Pokemon or whatever.
Yeah.
And so in that way, it's actually harder, in my opinion, than a normal Nuzlocke, because you can't grind. It's impossible, basically.
Yeah.
If that level cap's there.
Yeah, and like one of the ways to do a Nuzlocke successfully is to just over level.
Right. I mean, that's to me, like, that's the obvious thing to do, right?
Yeah, it's like the Nuzlocke strat.
Yeah, like he did something similar in a game where he had a no damage run.
Yeah.
Of, I think, Platinum, which is so stupid sounding, right? And I mean, the meta was just to over level so much that you just one shot everything you come across.
Right.
They don't have time to attack you.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's what I go for anyway.
Well, right. There you go. You're like, that's just how I play Pokemon.
That's just how I normally play Pokemon.
That's just how I play Pokemon. Yeah, that's interesting. So, this made me think that'd be really fun just in a regular playthrough.
Yeah.
Not having to grind at all.
Yeah.
Just hack in everything.
Man, Misty would be so hard to fight without getting any damage. You'd have to be so over leveled for her.
Yeah, and you'd have to be fast and one shot somehow, yeah.
Yeah.
What move would one shot her best? I guess maybe get an Ivysaur that's like level 32 or something.
And then Razor Leaf it. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's the option, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no bug or dark to help.
And man, you'd just steamroll everything after that because you'd be so over leveled.
I feel like that wouldn't be fun.
Yeah.
Doing a no damage run.
Yeah, I know.
That's not fun for anyone. It reminds me of another one he did where it was X and Y.
How did he do the starter fight without damage?
The starter fight.
Or did that not count?
RNG.
Oh.
I think he tried it over and over until they just growled every time.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
So stupid, right? Yeah. It's so funny. I think it's
just a patience run.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's funny. I watched another video about these facts or whatever, like weird Pokemon things. And in Black and White, when you do the first rival battle with your, brand new Pokemon, if the RNG works out where they just growl every time, which is like they set a number, it's insanely rare.
Yeah.
There's actually a special piece of dialogue after the battle.
Oh, yeah.
From like your friend Cheerin or whatever his name is, who heals your Pokemon. He's like, wow, you didn't get hurt at all. That's amazing. Like, or something. Yeah. Like, he has this special thing of dialogue for this like insanely rare
I might have actually read about that, actually.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Maybe it was in the same video we watched or something. Yeah, anyway, I love little things like that, of course. So, in this theme, I had mentioned to you that I had a story about emulators.
Right.
And a frustration with them. So I've messed around with randomizers and stuff.
Right.
Randomizer program. And I've been using the Visual Boy Advance, obviously.
Yeah.
That's like the Game Boy Advance emulator. And haven't really had issues with it.
Yeah. I'm currently using MVBA, which is
really?
a more up-to-date one.
Oh, nice.
You have to get it off of GitHub, but yeah.
I might try that. So randomizers have been working fine. I wanted to do one where it's a randomizer, but I choose my starter, which is Porygon 2.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite Pokemon. And I'm like, that'd be fun, do a Porygon, starter run. And I was like, oh, I should try to add cheats also. Like, this would be really nice if I never had to grind, if I put Master Balls in it. I just smacked my microphone. Master Balls to, make it easier and stuff. So, and I know that on emulators, putting in Game Shark cheats and stuff is really easy.
Yeah.
You just like copy and paste some codes and stuff. Not so. I tried for like, I don't know, a couple hours probably.
Yeah.
Of trying to put in different codes from different websites, and then like trying a different ROM of Leaf Green, trying Fire Red instead, and just none of either the code wouldn't work or
I don't think
the code wouldn't work.
I don't think I've tried it with Gen 3.
Yeah, I mean maybe it's hard for Gen 3 or something.
Yeah.
But could not get anything to work except for this one that makes all the Pokemon shiny. That I got to work, which actually that was really cool. So I want to keep that.
Yeah.
I'd love to do a run where just every Pokemon is shiny. So that's fun. But so after all this trial and error and stuff, I was like, I'll just try just the Porygon randomizer.
Yeah.
And then it wouldn't even load. The ROM wouldn't work at all.
Wow.
Period. And because it had like some error code, some new thing I'd never ran into. I'm like, well, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
And so I downloaded like a different version of Visual Boy Advance, and that would play the game, but still not work any of the single cheats that I was trying to do. Yeah. I mean, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah. It's also good to have a backup to create a copy of the ROM before you make any changes to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. No. Very true. And so I was like, forget Visual Boy Advance. I'm gonna try just a different brand or whatever. And I found an even older one, which I actually used to use, which is like no money GBA or something, like no $ GBA. And once I got that working, I was playing the games just fine. And so funny. I got all the regular cheats to work. I got the Master Ball cheat, but I couldn't get the shiny one to work. Like the one I got to work on the Visual Boy.
No.
But then I found like a non-Game Shark one. It was like an action replay code instead.
Oh yeah.
And that worked.
Oh nice.
That one worked. So as of like today, like a few hours ago, I got everything to work on one emulator.
Nice.
So I have like a shiny Porygon 2 and a bag full of 99 of all the calcium and carbos and all that. And so we'll see how that goes. Shiny Porygon run. Just a weird, fun way to play it, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'll try to have like a loose level cap. So I'm not over leveled because that wouldn't even be fun. So.
Right.
But yeah, that'll be interesting.
Cool.
That was. I don't like emulators very much. I don't.
Huh, I haven't had those kind of struggles, but
yeah, I considered like finding a Game Shark Game Boy Advance cartridge and doing it like on hardware instead.
Wow, yeah.
I'm considering it.
I had a Game Shark when I was a kid. That I used. So I had two different ones. I had a regular Game Shark and a Game Shark Pro, and the Pro worked better with Pokemon Yellow, and the regular one worked better with Red and Blue.
Nice.
I didn't know why exactly,
Interesting.
but whatever. So those idiosyncrasies also existed in the hardware.
Yeah.
So
I'd found on some forums and stuff, as I was looking up stuff, that they were like, Leaf Green is insanely finicky. Pokemon is difficult to Game Shark.
Because Red and Blue are pretty easy to do. But yeah.
Well, you can just get 99 stuff without.
Well, that too.
You can just glitch.
But you have to get all the way to Cinnabar to do that.
Yes, exactly. This is from the beginning, so. Yes, that was.
Yeah, I have 3 emulators. I have one is just regular VBA from just one of the downloads I found, just whatever the first one I could find was, and I've had that for a while. I got somewhat recently. I got MVBA, which is the newest, latest, greatest one, which is actually still being maintained, unlike the original.
Right.
And then I also have Gambat, which is the speedrunner one.
Oh,
it's
cool.
got apparently the most accurate clock.
Oh, nice.
Like internal clock.
Nice.
So that's why it's used for speed runs, so it gives you the most accurate time.
Yeah, that's nice. I didn't do any. I probably could have done just research on actual emulators.
So when I did my speed run, which I knew was not going to be anywhere near the actual records because I wasn't using Nidoking, I got 5.5 hours or so on Gambat.
Nice. That's cool.
But yeah, so
dude, I take a long time playing Pokemon games.
Yeah,
I realized. Oh my gosh, I hit almost 40 hours in Emerald.
Oh wow.
I'm like, that's a lot. Like, I don't know how I did that.
I hit that much on the in-game clock, but it's because I'm using the space bar or the Dodrio Game Boy. So.
Yeah, and I was like on a cartridge. Like, there's no doing that. Yeah.
So I've been playing Ruby. So I remember what you were saying about like Dark type. And I was like, yeah, Dark type is special. So I did some pregame.
It makes Poochyena awful.
Yeah. So I did some pregame metagame theory crafting. Like, okay, I'm gonna pick my team before I even start playing.
Okay.
So,
which I also did as well. I did a lot of research in Emerald.
I have a team that you would dislike, I think.
Probably.
So of course, started with Torchic. Because Blaziken is freakishly broken.
I have a deep hatred for firefighting types, and I have no idea why. They're too strong, probably.
Yeah. So, and then for my Dark type, I have a Shiftry, the evolution of Nuzleaf.
Oh, Nuzleaf. Like you have a Seedot.
Yeah. So I caught a Seedot and evolved into Nuzleaf and then Shiftry.
I said in the last episode is a Pokemon I would never use.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't really know why. I don't actually hate him or anything.
But
yeah.
High special, high speed.
Oh, he's great.
So
he's a great Pokemon.
He's a great Dark type.
Yeah.
And then I have a Manectric for my Electric type.
Very dislike that Pokemon.
Yeah.
Electrike and Manectric. No enjoyment from them whatsoever.
Yeah. And a Sharpedo for my Water type.
He's cool. He's all right.
Yeah. Now,
he's cool.
You were talking about your frustrations with fishing.
Yes.
I caught my Carvana on the first try.
Listen.
I was literally fishing for like 1 minute.
Yeah.
Like it took 2 attempts and I got a Carvana.
Mine was particularly bad because I was basically grinding on fish Pokemon.
Yeah.
So I mean I was doing it over and over again.
Right, but like
so you had no issue with the stupid rhythm game.
Yeah, no.
Okay, got it.
Now I was like, what about getting a Feebas and then getting a Milotic? Then I read all the things about how Feebas is legendary in how horrifically difficult to catch it is. And I'm like,
it's
nope.
So hard.
Nope.
It's like there's this big pool in this cave.
Yeah.
And there's one single tile.
Yeah.
In the water, but that tile changes.
Yep.
So you have to try every single one. And it's a low chance even in that one tile.
Right.
So there's like no way to know. Mm-hmm. It is so stupid.
Yeah.
And I think you have to trade it to evolve it.
You have to win the beauty contest.
Or beauty. I think it's either one.
I don't. So in later gens, you can trade it with prism scale.
Yeah.
But not in Gen 3.
Oh, it's just beauty. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is actually easier than trading.
Yeah,
so.
but yeah, I was like, oh, so no, and I moved on.
Yeah. Melodic's great and all, but
I have a routes that is literally just for Flash. I'm not actually using it.
How dare you?
And then I have another HM slave Pokemon, a Wingull for Fly.
Yeah, I hate Wingull also.
Yeah, I don't really care for it either. But
Gen 3 has a lot of Pokemon I love. Like some of Gardevoir, Absol, Flygon, like all these super cool Pokemon. And then Pokemon I hate.
Yeah.
Wingull, hate him. Like Pelipper's a great Pokemon. Like he's super tanky. Like that typing can be good.
Yes, I know he's tanky
electric.
because in Gen 6, in Sun and Moon, I had to kill like 30,000 of them to level up.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So yeah, how far are you then?
So I am. I just finished the Team Magma hideout.
Oh, cool.
So real quick, let's see. This is one of the toughest Pokemon games I've played in terms of trainer fights.
Okay.
Because they use potions.
Yeah.
And not just the gym leaders. Regular trainers use potions. Like, what?
Healing their Pokemon. I can't believe it.
Like, you're not allowed to do that.
That's illegal. Only I could do that. Yeah. I'm the hero.
Because, like, I've spent all this time whittling down this Pokemon's health, and then Hyper Potion. Like, what?
Gotcha.
What?
I gotcha.
So, yeah. I lost a few times to some of these gym leaders, especially the...
Dang.
Which one was it? I lost to one of the gym leaders. I think it might have been an electric gym leader.
Electric.
Yeah.
Is there an electric gym
leader? Yeah,
leader?
I think it's this older guy who's kind of fat.
Watson.
Right? Yeah. Maybe?
Right?
I don't know.
I think so.
Not that memorable.
So
anyway.
not your dad?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, my dad was really easy to fight.
Yeah.
Because by the time I get to the character's dad, I have Blaziken, Shiftry, Sharpedo. Like, he was a total pushover.
Yeah.
It took a while for my team to get really good, but once it did, it's pretty unstoppable now.
I messed up using a Gardevoir against his Slacking, who traced his ability, and so every other attack she wouldn't attack.
Loafing around. Yeah.
I'm like, I did not think this through.
But yeah, Combuskin, Double Kick.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, ridiculous. Yeah. Stupid. Firefighting are stupid.
My Shiftry
Too strong.
Its only grass move for quite a while was just Bullet Seed, which is not a bad move, but it's not a great move. Not great. Now he has Giga Drain, much better.
Yeah. Low PP, but very strong.
And then, although I'm not really using him much as a grass type anyway, because I have Manectric, so I don't need grass for a lot of things. But I was using him a lot early game because I didn't have Electrike for a while.
Yeah, Manectric does suit you, I feel like.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. So is that it? Is that what your plan is? Those four Pokemon?
Yeah, that's the dream team.
Okay. There you go.
Yep.
How exciting.
Yep.
So you have a Shiftry already?
Yeah.
When does it evolve?
So you need a Leaf Stone to evolve Nuzleaf, so I had to go out of my way to find that.
Leaf Stone.
There's a bunch of great TMs available at the Game Corner.
Yeah, there is.
But they're 4,000 coins each.
So exciting.
So I need about 240,000 Poké Dollars to buy them all.
So now you understand my amulet coin story.
Yeah.
From previous episodes. Worth it, I will say, for Ice Beam and Flamethrower.
I should get that, the amulet coin.
Go back to your mom. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Go to your mom, get the amulet coin.
Because I have Fly now, so that's easy.
I did not. I walked.
I mean, I have walked great distances in this game because it took so long to get Fly. I have walked
great distances. Yes, I have that in Heart Gold now, finally, and that's so nice.
Yeah. Fly is
so nice.
Yeah. I like how early you can get it in Gen 1.
Yeah,
as soon as you get to Celadon, you can get it.
Which, it's funny to me that isn't ery because I have to get through Rock Tunnel first.
Oh, yeah. No, it's mid-game, but still.
Yeah. Dude, I was watching a Small Ant video, and it was so funny. The lady that stops you on the cycling road because you don't have a bicycle. You know you can just keep walking.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's freaking hilarious. Like, just keep fighting her, basically, and eventually you get out. And then you just have a bike.
Yeah, it was like too important to make sure that the player had a bike for them to like force you to not.
Yeah. So funny. Anyway, that was fun. Gen 1 is very busted.
Yeah, I did want to say one other thing. So, so I was watching Joey the Anime Man. He was just doing a thing on his
Sounds
channel.
like a weeb to me.
He was doing a bunch of like quizzes online. And one of them was just name all 150 Pokemon in 15 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
You don't have to name them in order. You just have to type their names.
They
have to be spelled correctly, but otherwise.
Yeah, that would be an issue for me. I'd probably misspell a couple.
But like, yeah.
But like, I'd get the gist. But.
Yeah. And so he got, and I was like, So he starts the video. I start watching the video for a second, and then I pause it. I'm like, okay, how many can I do?
Yeah.
So I go and find the same quiz he did.
Yeah.
140.
140. Did just time run out?
Yeah. But like, my mind went totally blank. I'm like, which there were like, there were of course 11 that I forgot. Like Psyduck and Golduck, I think.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. And they weren't even the weird ones. But yeah.
Quack.
Anyway.
Yeah.
He only got 118, so it made me feel good. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, good. I still have my cred.
I feel like if you get at least 100, you're doing okay. You know?
Yeah. It's like,
I should try that.
You can't say that you're some like super Pokemon super fan if you get it less than 125, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So there's your challenge, audience.
Yeah.
Go name all 150 Pokemon, at least 125.
And don't go look at the list first. Yeah. I did it from memory. You can do it too.
If you're a real trainer.
Yeah, if you're a real Gen 1er like me.
Yeah. No, I am not. Absolutely not. Yeah, I'm a Gen 1 remaker.
Yeah.
It's got to have at least Dark and Steel type, man. Come on. Yeah, but playing Heart Gold makes you just realize how much better it is with the physical special split.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my main gripe with Emerald.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
But like I was able to actually take advantage of that. It's like, oh, sweet, Crunch is special, so I can just have a Pokemon with high special use it. Booyah.
Yep. Yeah, it makes Absol not nearly as good of a Pokemon.
Right, but it makes Houndoom really good.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, in new gens, like Pokemon like Mightyena are much more usable.
Yeah.
Just from their high physical being actually
There's
utilized.
So many Poochyenas in Team Magma and Aqua.
Yeah, they have the most boring teams ever.
Yeah.
It's
also,
like the same three
so
Pokemon
many
every
Numels.
Time. Yes. Numel, Carvana, Poochyyena.
Yeah. Which, once I got my Sharpedo, Numel, like 4 times weak to water. Goodbye.
4 times weak to water. Gosh. That is a terrible type combination.
Yeah.
Being 4 times weak to water is unacceptable. You're screwed, man. Yeah, there's a few types like that. Just like, it's not worth it, man. Not worth it. Yeah, I watched that Wolfie video.
Oh yeah, where he ranks all the types, or
it was one he was talking about the worst type combinations.
Yeah.
And that one was, I mean, the number 1 was not surprising at all.
Right.
It being the worst 2 types in the game, basically. I'm really sad at how bad ice is.
Yeah.
Because I love the ice type.
Yeah. You should see his video where he improves the ice type.
I did. Yeah. I did watch that. And I agree completely with everything. It should absolutely do all of that.
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome. But yeah. I think it just needs, if they at least just gave it a few more resistances, it would have a chance.
Yeah.
And maybe one immunity somewhere.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it should be immune to something else. It's only resistant to other ice. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's so bad.
No.
Gosh, it's just sad. That's just sad. That's just sad. I tell you what. We talked for an hour about Pokemon again.
Mostly.
There
was just a tiny bit about Fallen Jedi Fallen Order.
The Fallen Jedi.
Yeah.
Fallen Jedi Order, Order. Yeah. What else is on the docket, Ryan?
What else is on the docket?
Answer the question.
My mind is blank.
My mind's telling me no.
But my body's telling me yes.
That's right.
About what?
Excellent.
I finished Comey Can't Communicate and Spy Family.
Nice, bro. Watching anime? Mm-hmm. I watched an anime last night also.
Ooh.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Is that not an anime?
It's almost as good of an anime as Cory in the House.
Yeah, it's up there, man. Anyway, no, good movie though.
No. I've still never seen it, so
it was actually really good. I was surprised that
it's on my list. So I a couple of years ago I compiled a list of like, okay, here are all the like pop culture icons
classic movies,
that I have never seen that I should see. So like I saw The Breakfast Club, I saw Jaws.
Yep. Good stuff.
So yeah, these are movies I had not seen before,
but just iconic movies.
But that I have now recently seen.
Yeah, so actually, obviously, that was like that for me too. Yeah. So
my dad had me
good.
sit and watch. Oh gosh, what is it?
Lawrence of Arabia.
It is. It's really
like
boring.
Psychic type. Yeah, I'm sure
and it's so long.
Yeah, old movies.
It's like
some old movies, man.
The subject matter is interesting. It's just presented in a. It's like. And it really suffers from the limitations they had technology-wise back then.
Yeah.
Like, even the audio is not very good, so, like, I can't actually even hear what some of them are saying.
Dang.
And it's like, it's a movie where the dialogue is extremely important to what's going on.
You're like, I don't know what's happening.
And then there were a couple of scenes where I just, even knowing what they were saying, I didn't really understand what was happening.
Dang. You just don't understand cinema, Brian.
Yeah, I guess.
Deep cinema.
Yeah. Like now I want to watch a modern retelling of it, but like one that isn't just super cheesy Hollywood, but a little cheesy Hollywood. Just a little bit, just to keep it interesting.
Maybe a little parmesan on top, you know.
Yeah.
Just a little sprinkled cheese.
A little shredded Asiago.
Just a little. Just a little. We got to go see Thor.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. So like we've finally reached the point where not everything Marvel does is amazing.
Yeah.
With like Morbius and
I mean, not really MCU.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's still under still the same corporation is handling
Brian,
it. So.
It's Morbin time.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah. Remember when you didn't understand what I was saying when I said that a few episodes ago? Yep.
And now I do.
And now you get it.
It's still not funny. I can't believe it.
Yep.
It's great. Food tastes.
Yes. Dang. Food tastes.
Food tastes. That's all I got to say about that.
Yep. And on that note.
Thanks for listening to the movie podcast where we talk about deep cinema like Lawrence of Arabia. Okay? Go watch The Godfather. Go watch Citizen Kane.
Now, Godfather was a good movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Like, that one, it aged like fine
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, James Caan.
Yeah.
So sad.
All right, where can our listeners get a hold of us?
I don't know. Just start screaming.
Just scream into the void.
I love the Brothers game.
And we will appear.
So, Brian, what did you think of our viral episode?
I think it's going straight to the top.
This goes straight to the top. So everybody, I know this is already viral. So I mean, millions are already listening to this, but go send it to a million friends also, so that we can really spread it out. Okay. Be like, yo, do you like Pokemon? Do you want to hear two guys talk about it for an hour? And they go, as they vigorously shake their head.
No.
Well, you can go to twitter.com and look for the Brothers G Pod. That's us. Hello.
Or you can go to reddit.com and check out r/Brothers Game Podcast.
r/The Brothers Game Podcast.
No, not r/The Brothers Game. Just r/Brothers Game Podcast.
Yeah. I'm making a weird face. And scene.
Good night, everybody.